Alright there, Ali and Murph, or Alistair and Murphy. I'm absolutely loving the commentary of the games, this commentary class. Right, so you want me to do a quick recording of 1331 and how you get into it. This isn't really like a tactical use of it as to why you should use it in certain areas or anything like that. What's just showing is how you can get from a set piece into 1331 shape. I'll talk through some options as to why this has all happened on it. Again, it's not meant to be like this guy has to run here, this guy has to run here. This is what you have to do in this situation. It's none of that at all. This is basically letting a scenario unfold as to how you would get in a position. I'll just talk through some of the reasons why you're in the certain bits. Right, so this one's just running a rangy off of a scrum. Apologies for the colours. This is from another presentation thing I did, so I've not had a chance to change the colours. Apologies for the animation, did it quite quickly as well, so it's not as, it's a little bit crazy looking, but you'll live. But without further ado, I'll just let it run through once, then I'll talk through what happens, okay? Alright, lots of coloured balls flying all over the place. Right, back we go. Alright, so simple, first things first, 9 to 10. 10 takes it up, 10 to do a cut line with 13 run behind. It's a switch, so a basic switch. The 8, God bless him, he's not going to be as fast as that, but I just jumped him that quickly. There's no way he's making that out that wide. What basically happens here is, like, in terms of the way the scrum breaks down, there's two going to be 1-3-3-1. There's a one pod, a three pod, a three pod, and a one pod. Your first three pods should be 1, 2, and 3 off of a scrum because they'll be the last ones to come out of the scrum, so you want them to be first there. The second three pod is your 4, 5, and 6. So in other words, your blind side, and then your 4 and your 5 should be your second pod. And then what happens is usually your 7's first into contact off of any sort of move. They're first there at breakdown. But likewise, it could have been the 8. It just doesn't matter. Whoever's in the first contact area, they sit here. And the reason why that's important is because the 7's going to come over here into the 1 position, and the 8's hightailing it over here to be in the 1 position. So leaving up the 2 pods in the middle. So nothing. Sorry for this pacing and everything like that, but it just is what it is. So you can see the first pod 4, 5, and 6 have sat in front of the 10. Now the reality is it could have sat in front of the 12, it could have sat in front of the 15. I'm just having it in front of the 10 just to show you. Just to show you. This 3 pods just sits here just now. They don't really going to do anything much. They could have, if the 4, 5, 6 went across there to the 15, they could have came into this position. If 4, 5, 6 gets the ball and crashes up, they could do a wrap. They just peel in the corner. But right now, they're just staying right here just to keep width. So dummy from the 4, 5, 6 because we want to attack out wide. Awful animation. So you can basically see pods here, a pod's here. The 13 starting to fill back to here. 12 took the ball up and gave it to 15 obviously, but it's 11 and 7 are over here and they're nice and wide. Give it to 14 and 8. This is what you're looking for. You're wanting an 8 essentially up against a mismatch, so there should be backs here, so 8 should be a strong enough runner to get over the line. If 14 does take it in, 8's there to secure the ball off the 14 and the 15, so that he's there as a safety net to protect him in the deck, or pass to him, he just smashes through. If we did this move outside the 50 meters or just outside the 10 meter line, 8's probably going to be able to power yourself over the lines if he's in this position, so it's a good try scoring opportunity. And there we go. And feedback. So you see how everybody's fed back. This time, playing off the 10 and the 10 in the pod, 10's in between the pods, whereas beforehand the 10 was behind the pod or a part of the pod. Again, options there. The guys can crash up or he can pass to the five, and the five can decide who is. In this instance, the five is the playmaker, so the five can crash up or tip onto the six, in which case the four can come round, or they can run ahead and do a speed ball it back to 12. 12 links with 13. 13 then can access this pod here, the 2-1-3-2 pod. I always like the winger. I want the winger up flat all the time, so the 10 comes in, they can always do the kick across the entire pitch, and that's really what's going on there. Hope that makes sense. I don't really think there's anything other than my really crap animations. There's nothing really complicated about it. I mean, you could do this. If this was a line out, it's the exact same thing. If it was a 5-man line out or a 7 or a full line out, it doesn't really matter. If it's a 5-man, you'll have your two forwards here in front of your 10, or maybe even in front of your 12. They can go crashing up. Depends who the hell they are. If they're flankers, or if they're a second row, or I don't know, a prop, or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. If it's a back row guy, he'll just jump into the wide channel, and the rest of them just work their way across. If it's a line out, you probably don't really want to go crashing up the middle, depending where you are on the pitch, obviously. But see, I would far prefer fling the ball out wide, give it to the wingers, let the winger run up there somewhere, and then give your 1-3-3-1 time to get back into space and try time to get organised in the middle there, just for coming back. You could cinch it up really quite tight. I don't know. There's loads you can do with it. 1-3-3-1's a really easy way, a really easy sort of like structure to go with. Yeah, that's about it. All right, boys. Hopefully this has helped a wee bit. I hope. Cheers.